Hello, everyone. This is my transference reflection for Google in Education. So, for the exploration stage, a few things that came to my mind when first starting this class, way back in August, was because in Blackboard it labeled this class as problems in education. So that name felt a little bit overwhelming. I wasn't sure if this was going to be a course about like why we shouldn't be using Google possibly, or why like what kind of things are coming up because we are using Google. So that was a little intimidating at first. The fact that it was a whole semester long, I didn't realize that when I first had signed up for it. However, it was one of my electives, so I needed it. So I wasn't sure how long the projects were going to be, how long the coursework was, because still teaching while taking your master's is very overwhelming. So that was really intimidating again at the beginning. However, I was still really excited to take this because I did feel that I was going to be given a very in-depth look into Google and what I could be doing with Google within my classroom that I wasn't already doing. So within those three things that I had, again, the name did not match the actual experience whatsoever. It was definitely not about any of the problems. Really, again, kind of along with that third one, I learned more about Google in this course than I have in my 4 years of teaching. Because we really don't out here where I live, they do not do any PD on like Google or like programs that we use. So taking this course was really great in terms of getting to know what I was already using in a better way and seeing all the different applications that I could use even with first graders. So what I am doing with my first graders now can definitely be elevated into a completely new version, and definitely from what I've seen from this course and even in other courses I've taken, that as long as you train those kids really well, you go at steps at a time, you give them visuals, they will be able to do everything that even middle school and high schoolers are able to do. So this course really showed me that I am able to do all of these things even with my tiny little ones that I have. Um, and then again, the semester long thing too, it really was the 8 weeks was the coursework, which was nice. And then the second half of it, you got to choose, which was really helpful because I had another 8 week course that I was taking at the same time at the second half of this one. And so I was able to get a lot of the other coursework for the other class done and then come and finish the Google exam for this, as well as the Transference Reflection after I finished the last course. So after looking at all of this and really thinking about it, I really feel that I can take what I used, so that Google Educator exam, and how much further I could take my Google training. There's always other things you can do and you can look into, and your learning is never done. So if they're, looking into other courses or trainings from Google themselves, maybe other universities after I graduate, are there any more universities that offer, maybe different courses on Google? And then maybe other trainings from teachers themselves, because they're really the ones that you are going to be working with it just about every single day and using it with those students. So I think it'd be really fun to be able to find teachers who do trainings on Google itself. So then, after doing this and looking at those questions, like I really feel that just furthering my Google courses and even possibly becoming a Google trainer and then working with my colleagues at school to give them a training on something different. Because like I mentioned before, my school district does not do any PD on, I call it more fun stuff. They really don't do anything really like super fun. So if I were to become a trainer, I could do that even for the local college as well. So putting myself out there and just taking my own learning a step further by becoming a trainer. again, researching teachers, I think that would just be such a great opportunity to be able to look at what other teachers are doing out there and seeing if, especially since I'm in the lower levels, seeing other teachers who are in those lower levels and what they are doing and bringing that into my own classroom. So, really researching and finding other teachers and like more training opportunities with Google. And then another really big thing I thought about again was just those ISTE standards. And then, especially because using Google is such a huge difference between what I'm doing now, I just really want to make sure that I'm using those standards correctly and using them the way that they're meant to be used. And in thinking of that, ISTE does have a conference every year, and seeing if my school would even be able to let me go to one of those conferences, after all of this is done with. Um, but it would be so great to be able to go to one of those conferences and see it firsthand from the people who have come up with those standards. And from what I've seen and looked into it before, they have these huge conferences, and there are teachers from all over the United States and even the world who come and do trainings and give PD and do some really cool stuff using these standards and using the technology. So I think that would be something to really look into, and would just be so cool to be able to go and do that. So then again, this was one of my biggest classes before. I have one more semester and I get to graduate in May. And I'm really glad I saved this one for the end. I feel that the courses I took before these have really helped me prepare me for this course. But again, I still learned so much more about Google, and I just feel way more confident in my abilities to use it. I don't feel like I'm having to like look through everything anymore. I, know where to go. I know what to do, and it just makes me feel really good that I'm able to do this now. And now I feel that, I've had, a few people come and ask me questions now because they knew I was taking this course, and I, am confident in my abilities and showing them what to do. And even, and again, I'm still learning new things with Google. And I just still think it is really important to continue to learn, especially with technology, because they're always coming out with something new every single day. Like Google themselves are still continuing to come up with new things. And you're never going to know everything about something. You are never going to be know something 100%. You might know it 99%, but there's still always going to be that 1% that they continue to come out with. So again, it's just really important to continue to learn and grow and never stop looking into things and just, continue your education. So thank you for watching, and it has been really fun this semester.